Welcome back if you're not. Minty, stop. Lie down. Minty, stop. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're not. So for today's look, I want to do a festival inspired kind of makeup look. I'm not going to any festivals myself. Have I ever been to one? I don't know if I've ever been to a festival, but I want to do something a little bit more kind of creative and fun and glittery. So I'm thinking of doing like a dark black smoky eye with gold glitter, maybe just like on the inner half of the crease. And then maybe some glitter tears, but I'll see, that might be too much glitter going on. I don't know, maybe just like a touch of glitter on the inside and then more glitter tears. I think they're a really cool trend that's going on right now. And then like a nude lip, maybe kind of a goldy colour on the lip as well. And I am wearing clothes. I have a strapless black dress on as well. So that's why I wanted to kind of go more dark and like with the black smoky eye, because I think I'm also going to add this like turban headband. That's obviously not how you wear it, but this black turban headband, and I'll have my hair down and stuff. I just want to do something more dark festival, because you do see a lot of bright colours with these kinds of looks just because they are, you know, summertime, spring, summertime. So that's kind of the idea behind it, but we'll see how it goes. Oftentimes it doesn't go how you think it's going to go. Yeah, I'm going to get started, and I'm going to start on the eyes because we're going to be using more darker colours. I don't want to get any fallout. So I'm starting with my Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden, as per usual. And we'll just pop that all over the eye and blend that out with a synthetic brush. This is the Sigma P84. And as always, I have a link down below to my blog post where you'll find a full product and brush list with links. So you can see the difference that just using a base makes. It just gets rid of all that darkness and gives a nice clean canvas to work on. And also because it is an actual primer, it will stop creasing from happening. So I'm going to start with a transition colour, and I'm using actually the brush that comes with the Modern Renaissance palette, the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. So I'm going to use the fluffy side, and I'm going to go into the original Naked palette and use the shade Naked. So it's like a very light beigey brown, just to get us started. So that's going above my crease, and I'm going to blend it higher on the outer half, just because I want to keep in mind that I want to have glitter on the inner half of the crease here. So I'm going to concentrate on blending it up and out on this side, and that's just going to give the eye a more kind of lifted effect. I'm also going to take that right onto the eye nice and low. So then switching over to my trusty Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D, I'm going to go to this neutral medium brown shade, again on the same brush. And again, just following that same shape, so it's going into the crease and blending upwards, and we're blending more kind of higher and outwards on the outer half. But I'm not completely ignoring this side. I am buffing it in here and kind of blending it up. It's just concentrating more on that side. And again, that's going under the eye. So then again, in the same palette, I'm moving to this cooler and darker brown. And once again, just adding more depth. So we're just working in layers to make the blending easier, especially when I'm going to be going in with like a black on the lid and blending it out. I definitely want to make sure that there's a nice gradient of browns there for it to blend out into. That'll just make my life a lot easier. And even like this dark brown that I'm using now, it's so much easier to blend out because I have that medium and then that light brown to work on top of. So as you can see, we're looking a lot more smokier and darker around the eye, but we haven't gone to the lid yet. So I'm going to go straight in with the black and blend it into those crease colours. So I'm just going to stick with the black that's in the Kat Von D palette, and I'm just going to flip over this brush that I was using to the flat side and just spread that onto the lid. And then I'm going to use the tip of the brush with a little bit of black and go under the eye, just closer to the lash line. And then I'm going to flip back over to my blendy side, and I'm literally just going to tip it into the black and then blend around the edges of that black just to make sure that it's fading smoothly into the browns. And then I'm just taking a touch of that darkest brown that I was using, and again helping to blend out the edges of the black just to make sure that I'm not going too far out with the black and it doesn't get too out of control. So I was blending the black up, and now I'm getting a little bit of the brown and blending it down. So next I'm going to add some black eyeliner. I'm going to use the Inglot gel in number 77, which is just the black. And I'm going to use that on a straight liner brush. This one is one that I normally don't use. It's a Crown C250-2. It's a little bit longer than I'd normally have, but we'll give it a go. So I'm first going to apply this to my waterline, so top and bottom. And then I'll just apply a little bit to the top. I'm not going to do like a wing or anything because I just want to keep it just blended in with that black shadow. But it's just to add a little bit more depth along the lash line. And then I'm just taking a little touch of that black eyeshadow on the tip of the flat brush and just blend like the corner of it and kind of the top edge of the liner. As I say, just to make sure that it blends into the shadow and doesn't look too strong on top. So then just to slightly neaten up the shape, I don't want it to be super sharp, but I just want to neaten up that kind of elongated shape a little bit. I'm going to take a large shader brush and I'm going to use the matte cream shade from the Shade Light palette. I'm literally just going to kind of lightly sketch around the areas. So it's not like taking a wipe where it's going to completely sharpen it up. It's just softly sharpening, if that makes sense. Just softly neatening it up. And then I'm going to come from the top. So it's just acting as like a really soft blended eraser. Then I'm going to add a little inner corner highlight, and I think I'm going to take Sidecar from the original Naked palette. It's this one right here. So it's a little bit darker than like what I would normally take for an inner corner highlight because the rest of the eye is so dark. It doesn't have to be like super white bright. It is nice and bright, and it is very kind of shimmery and slightly glittery. So I'm taking that on a rounded pencil brush. This is a Royal & Langnickel brush. It's the Dome Shadow C427. We'll just pop that in around the tear duct. Just add a little bit of light. But because it's that kind of beigey champagne-y colour, it's not giving too much of a contrast with the black. And I'm also just going to slightly pull it up into the crease, kind of where I want to put my glitter. And it'll just give a little bit of a base to the glitter. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave the shadow there for now anyway. I might come back and touch it up. And I'm going to go on to the glitter. And I'm using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance glitter glue. And I'm going to take that on this kind of longer bristle brush. It's slightly tapered. It's a Create number 5, so I think it's one of those actual like art brushes. And I'm just going to paint that where I just applied that Sidecar. So literally just in a line above the lid. And I'm kind of keeping it thicker on the inside here and just making it a little bit thinner as I get into the center. And for glitter, I'm going to use the Eye Candy glitter in Candy Corn. It's kind of like a darker, more of like a bronzy shade than like a bright gold. I want to do, there you go. I want to do the glitter underneath in like more brighter standout glitters. So I'm just picking some of that up on the same brush. I'm just going to press that on. Okay, so right now I'm not feeling maybe the thickness of the shape. I think it needs to be like a bit more. It's just looking a little bit random right there, I think. So first I'm going to kind of blend out and kind of above the glitter with some gold and just see how that is, and I might just want to add more glitter on top of that. So I'm going to go back to the original Naked palette and I'm going to take Half Baked, which is that goldy shade. and just above where that glitter is, kind of blend around it. I think that's helping. Yeah, and I might want to press on a little bit more glitter just to make it a bit more sparkly rather than just shimmery shadow. And I'm also blending that down into the teardrop area, so kind of going over the sidecar shade, so maybe we just should have used a gold instead. Okay, so adding more brightness and blending that out just makes it look a little bit more like intentional. So then I'm just going to use a little bit more of the glitter glue and a little bit more of the glitter just to press on a little bit more and make it a bit sparkly. So then I'm going to add some brows, and I'm using my NYX Tame and Frame pomade in the shade Espresso, and I'm taking that on an Inglot 31T. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do what kind of a brow I want to do, if I want to do like defined top and bottom, or if I want to do that like defined underneath and kind of fluffy on top that I had done in a couple of recent videos. And the first one, I kind of messed it up a little bit. It just didn't come out as good as I wanted, or as good as I've gotten it since. And the second video was the smoky summer vibes one, where I did it off camera and it actually came out pretty good then. So I think I'll do it on camera this time. So basically I've just outlined or outlined underneath with my brow pomade, and now from there I'm just going to brush the product up into the brow. So from that line upwards, and I'm going to use a spoolie to kind of brush up the hairs as they go, so I can just kind of see underneath them, because they will be brushed up afterwards, so you don't want to expose any gaps if you can. So we've outlined underneath and blended up the gel a little bit into the brow, and then I'm going to switch to a powder. So I'll switch to a different angle brush, a real haired angle brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this lighter matte brown and use that to kind of feather through the rest of the brow, like more towards the top, because I still need a little bit of colour up there as well. I don't have like the fullest brows, so I just want to fill in any gaps, but it's not like structured. And again, I'm doing more like flicky upward motions. So you're concentrating more on having your fade go from bottom to top, rather than having it all outlined and fading from back to front. So I'm just brushing the hairs up the way I will set them with like a clear gel or a clear mascara, just to make sure that any little gaps that you can see then are filled in. So I'm going to do the same on the other eye, and then I'm not going to brush them up with like a gel until I have my base on, because it'll just get disrupted when I come in with like my foundation and powder and stuff around that area. So we'll just leave it at that for the moment. So then I'm going to curl my lashes and apply a quick coat of mascara before I put on false lashes. And for lashes, I'm going to use a double stack of 14s from Inglot, so that's 2 pairs stacked on top of each other. So now that I have lashes on, I can get kind of a better overall visual of the eye look. And I just want to bring the black up a little bit higher on the crease out here, so that it's kind of meeting with the gold, or kind of in line with the gold. So just bringing up a little bit higher above the crease. But again, I'm only just taking little touches of it, because with black it's very easy to just kind of get out of control. I just think it makes the blend look a little bit better, because while we did blend the black into the brown in the actual crease line, on my eye shape anyway, once I kind of relax my brows and look straight ahead, you can't see that part, and it looked like it was just going from black on the lid to brown in the crease, and you couldn't really see the point where they faded into each other, even though they did. So I just wanted to be able to see that fade looking straight on. So next I'm going to move on to my base, and I'm going to use a little bit of my primer potion where I find that I get creasing in my foundation. So for me, that's around my smile lines and in my forehead lines. So I'll just blend that in. Okay, that works. Okay, so for my foundation, I'm going to go in with the Flormar Matte Touch Foundation in M305, which I love the coverage of and the finish of. I just find that it does tend to kind of crease on me throughout the day. So having that primer in those spots should help. So this is why I leave the brushing up of my brows with a gel till afterwards, because I would just be moving them when I'm going around the brows with the foundation. For my under eyes, I'm first going to go in with the NYX Dark Circle Concealer Corrector in the shade Medium. So that's what that looks like. It's just kind of a salmon shade. So that's only going over any kind of like bluey dark circles. And then for concealer, I'll use a Flormar concealer to go with the Flormar foundation. This is the Perfect Cover liquid concealer, and this is in the shade Medium Beige, number 4. So we'll see how this goes. It's a little bit pinkier than I would like, but that'll do. So with the under eyes, I'm just blending it like down and up with the large foundation brush, and I'll go back in with my smaller brush to get closer to the eyes, and also just to allow that part of the concealer to set a little bit more and get a little bit more dry, because it's not going to slide around on me so much, and I can kind of control it closer to the eyeshadow. And then I'm going to set all of that in place with the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I have my broken one in my little container, and I'm going to do that. We'll do it with a large fan brush, and we can use this for the rest of our powders. This is from Sedona Lace. It's the FB01. Okay, so now that I have my foundation and powder on, I'm just going to brush up the brows. So I'm going to use, this is just a clear mascara from Natural Collection, or you can use a proper brow gel too. And just going to fix any little areas that some of the powder got brushed away. Especially on this side, because this brow, there's less hair around the arch, so it just needs a little bit more definition. So just brushing them straight up like that. This brow also never wants to, the hairs don't want to go up. They're not as willing. They really just want to go straight down, so this brow is always a little bit harder. So that's what gives it kind of the fluffier texture on the top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with the rest of my face powders before I add the glitter tears. I'm going to go into the Makeup Revolution Iconic Lights and Contour Pro palette. If you didn't see, I did a comparison video between this and the NYX version, and basically in that video I was saying that I prefer, I do prefer the NYX one overall, because there's just slight differences, particularly in the highlight shades, but also that this really wasn't a bad option at all, and especially for me, for something like a festival look, this will do perfectly. So I'm just taking this shade on this side, and I'm just contouring with that. And then I'm going to take this darker shade on this end. And then for my highlight, I'm going to go into the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit. And I think I'll use a Glow Getter, and I'll just use it on the same brush. So that's this one right here. So I think I want to add the lip. I'll just kind of complete the rest of the face before we go in and add the glitter tears as the finishing touch. So I'm going to start off with my Kiko 301 pencil. It's one of my all-time favourite brown lip liners. I have a video as well on my favourite brown lip liners and nude lipsticks, because that's like a combo that I like to do, kind of an ombre brownie nude. So I'm going to outline, and I'll probably overdraw as well with this. So I've lined my lips with that and also coloured in kind of the edges and corners. And then I'm going to take a nude lipstick. This is an NYC Expert Lass lip colour in the shade 448 Smooth Beige. So it's just a nude like that. It comes out a little bit more pinky, I think, than it looks, than the packaging looks anyway. This isn't one that I use a lot. I just grabbed it because I just want some sort of a nude underneath, because I will be going over with a slightly more coloured gloss. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm just going to start from the centre. So I can see why I don't use that one an awful lot, because it doesn't have the best texture. It's not super pigmented, so it kind of looks a little bit patchy. I don't know. But as I say, I just wanted some sort of a base, because I'm going to use this kind of bronzy gloss. I don't know if I've used this before, and this is from NYX. I got it in a set of lip glosses, so it doesn't have like a name or number on it, but it's just this kind of bronzy shade. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to take some tissue and blot, because that lipstick was just a little bit creamy, so I don't want to overload with liquid and creams and stuff. That's better. So that's that gloss. It's not as pigmented as I would like. It's a little bit sheerer than I was expecting, but it definitely gives that kind of warmer feel to the lip. And that's quite nice. I don't have as many kind of like brownie lip glosses or darker lip glosses that I can put over that kind of a lip, because that's a lip that I often do, that brownie nude shade, so I quite like it. But another lip option that would be good is the one that I did in the Smoky Summer Vibes makeup tutorial, which if you like this kind of dark but golden and kind of summery makeup look, then that will be a good tutorial to check out as well if you haven't already. But the lip that I did in that one, where I topped it off with the gold liquid illuminator from L'Oreal, I put that over the lip. I put that over top, and it just gave a really pretty gold sheen to the lip, so that would be a good lip option as well. So I just took my hair down to take a few pictures, because number one, I'm kind of scared that I'm going to ruin it with the glitter tears, but also number two, you could totally stop here if you want to keep it a little more simple. Well, simple with a black smoky gold glitter, but if you just want to keep it just to the focus on the eyes. But just before I take any more pictures, I just want to add some highlighter to the kind of the collarbone area. So I'm going to go back in with that large fan brush. I'll just give it a dust off and take that same highlight, the Glow Getter, and I'm just going to dust that over like my collarbones and shoulders. So this could totally just be your finished look if you don't want to go as crazy. But I'm just going to take a few pictures and then we'll move on to the glitter tears. Okay, so for the glitter, I'm again going to use the glitter glue from Too Faced, and I'm going to use that same brush that I was using for the glitter on the eyes. So I'm first just going to use the glitter glue to kind of map out where I want the tears. So they're going to be fairly wide under the eye, and then kind of trickle down into separate tears. And I'm first going to take a little bit of that glitter that I used on the eyes, the Candy Corn from Eye Candy. I'm trying to work with this fairly fast because the glitter glue sets pretty quickly. And then I'm going to switch to a brighter gold. This is from LA Splash. I'll just check the name. It is in the shade Pacific Sand. So it's more brighter and more of kind of a yellowy gold than like that darker copper. So we'll layer that on and see how we are. And I'm just going to kind of layer a little bit of glitter glue as I go, because it does dry fairly quickly. See already that just catches the light so much more. But having that coppery one that I use on the eye just helps kind of tie it in together, I think. So I quite like how bright that one is. I did have like kind of a silvery and like a more white glitter on the side if I needed to brighten it up, but that really catches the light really well. I will just go back in with a little bit more of the first one, the candy corn shade, just because, as I said, I wanted to kind of tie in a little bit more with the eyes, and that one covered up a lot of it. So kind of mainly just up under the eye, just to make it a little bit warmer. Okay, so I think that is the look done. I quite like how the glitter tears came out. I didn't know how kind of hard or easy it would be to make them kind of more precise, but just using that kind of a brush, kind of a longer, thinner one, so you can just kind of paint those streaks with whatever adhesive you're using, and then literally just paint it on the glitter over it, and then just dabbing under the eyes. Super simple and really effective and cool. So I'm really happy with that. I'll add on my little headband and see how that looks. We'll take down the hair. I don't know, how does that look? How does that look? I'm asking you like you can answer me. I think that looks kind of cool. I've never worn this. I've had it for a while. One of the girls in Inglot, when I used to work in Inglot, gave it to me for Christmas when we did like Secret Santa, along with other things, and I never wore it, but so I was never really sure how to, but it looks quite funky and festivalish slash gypsy-ish. Oh, I need earrings. I didn't bring earrings out here. No, I think actually if I had my hoops in, I would just look like a gypsy crystal ball lady. Even though I feel naked without my hoops. Yeah, I think without earrings it's just more cash and like festival goer. So you guys, that is the finished look. I really hope you like it. I had a lot of fun creating it. So if you do decide to recreate it, then definitely tag me on social media. My tag is at ChristineMUA. And if you enjoyed the video and if you like the look, definitely give it a thumbs up by clicking the like button that's down below, and also subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean so much to me. So yeah, thanks so much guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. And then we'll switch over. And I'm going to use that on a... So it's not like taking a wipe where it's making it going...